Hello and welcome to Mashable's Air Friday, where we air fry anything and everything in the air fryer in the name of deliciousness. And this week, well, there's only one thing we could cook this week with the big game. We are air frying chicken wings. This recipe comes from Pro Home Cooks on TikTok. They say they scoured the internet for the best air fryer chicken wing recipes and came up with the best one. The first thing we have here is about a pound of chicken wings. You can scale this up as much as you need to if you have a big party, but we're just gonna do a pound. And the first step, according to the TikTok from Pro Home Cooks, is we are going to take some paper towels and dry them off. You're wondering, why are we drying off chicken wings? This is typically a step you do in order to make the wings crispier. You're removing moisture, which should make the skin and the chicken wings at the end crispier. So that's step one, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna wash my hands before the next step. Okay, now that we have our chicken wings all dried off, it's time to start getting them ready to go in the air fryer. Step number one from Pro Home Cooks is actually a pretty controversial one, at least for me. I'm a chicken wing aficionado. I live, breathe chicken wings, and I prefer usually a non-breaded chicken wing. Now, this Pro Home Cooks recipe seems to kind of straddle the line between breading and no breading. They use a little bit of flour, and I think maybe that's to help it crisp up in the air fryer, because as good as air fryers are, they are still not a deep fryer of oil. So maybe they're using a little bit of flour to try to crisp things up a little bit more. So what we got here is about a tablespoon of flour. Again, the recipe on TikTok says a tablespoon for each pound of wings. That looks about right. And then they say to use salt and your favorite seasoning rub. So I've got like about a heavy pinch of salt here. You're gonna want to really season the chicken. So we're gonna drop all that in. Some really spicy cayenne pepper here. This is really good fresh cayenne that we're gonna drop in. And we're gonna give this all a good mix. You could use tongs, a spoon. I found you usually get your best results with hands to evenly distribute. But after you do this, please wash your hands. Again, we're dealing with chicken here and we do not want cross-contamination. So I'm giving it a good mix. Should have some salt, some seasoning, and some flour. Again, you can use whatever you want, just make sure you have the salt and the flour. I just went with some hot cayenne because I want real spicy wings. I feel like if you're gonna have buffalo wings, have some buffalo wings. Don't play around. So that's what they look like, coated with seasoning and flour. I'm gonna wash my hands and then we're gonna get them in the air fryer. It's gonna be a bit longer of an air fry than usual. There's a couple steps to it, but it is very simple. You're just gonna take a little bit of time. So now we have a preheated air fryer to 250 degrees with a timer set for 20 minutes. According to Pro Home Cooks, what you're gonna do here is get the wings in the air fryer and you're gonna do a really low temperature, kind of long cook. I think the goal here with this low temperature cook is to render some of the chicken fat on the skin, and that's gonna give you a crispier product at the end. So we're gonna do a low temperature cook. It's gonna have a rest period of 15 minutes after this 20-minute cook, and then you're gonna crank up the heat for the end. But right now, what you gotta focus on, 250 degrees, 20 minutes. Got my basket preheated here, and I've got some canola oil I'm just gonna spray in. You can use regular Pam cooking spray, whatever you got. We're gonna take our seasoned chicken wings and we're gonna drop them in, and we're gonna try to get them so they've got space. You don't want them crowding each other in the bottom of the air fryer basket, because then it's not gonna cook evenly. So, should hopefully look something like this, where every wing has a little bit of space. I'm gonna get them in the air fryer for 20 minutes. Maybe I'll give them a little shake if I feel like they need it about halfway through to get all the sides evenly rendered, but should be fine. We're just doing a low temperature cook to start here. Okay, so we have had our chicken wings in the air fryer for 20 minutes at 250 degrees. Now, Pro Home Cooks suggests you let it rest for about 15 minutes before you do the next cook at a really high temperature. So I'm gonna pull these out. Let's take a look, take a little peek. If you see here, you don't have that color you really want yet, but some of the fat's starting to render. It's definitely starting to cook pretty well. So I'm gonna just put them down, set a timer for 15 minutes, and then we're gonna cook it at a real high heat to get the crispy skin you're gonna want, sauce them up, and enjoy. Okay, so our 15 minutes of rest time are up for our wings. Now we have a 8-minute, 400-degree high heat cook to get the exterior nice and crispy. So again, got them here. We're gonna go in, since they rested in the air fryer basket, they're gonna cook with the preheat, which is kind of what must have happened with the TikTok where I got the recipe from. So we're cranking it all the way up to 400 degrees. We're putting it in there for 8 minutes. And then at the end, we should be good. They should be fully cooked and crispy. Put some sauce on them and go to town. Okay, so at long last, our wings are finished cooking. They have been in the air fryer for 8 minutes at 400 degrees. And let's see. You take a look at them here. They look nice and cooked, nice and crispy. We're gonna dump them in a bowl, and then we're gonna sauce them in the bowl. So most wings you're gonna get, classic buffalo style, they're gonna be put in a big bowl like this and then sauced after the fact. But before we do that, because it's TikTok, let's do this. You can hear that, that sounds like a crispy skin. So everybody does it. And now it's time to sauce, which I think is probably the most important part of a wing. And there's only one sauce I would go with. It's Buffalo Wild Wings Wild Sauce. I consider myself something of a global brand ambassador for Buffalo Wild Wings. No, they do not sponsor me. Yes, I would accept it if they tried. I love their wild sauce. It's really hot, it's really good. It's kind of a classic Buffalo, just extra heat. So we're gonna douse these up and give them a taste. So I've got that, let's get them nice and saucy. It's for the big game, you know, you don't want to play around. And give them a little shake. Maybe a little more. Give them a little shake. Know what you're looking for here is a crispy exterior, nice saucy exterior. I'm gonna take a drum here and we're gonna give them a little taste for the camera. I gotta say, that's really good. For an air fryer wing, that's about as close as you're gonna get to the deep fried thing. Nice and crispy. The inside is tender, juicy. Again, Buffalo Wild Wing sauce, great. But that's a really good wing. If you're gonna make wings for the big day, you might as well take the time. Yes, it takes a little bit extra time to have this, wait period of 15 minutes. And yes, it's kind of a slow cook to a high cook. But it's good. That is a very good air fryer wing. Would recommend.